Good morning. So I still make my second cup of coffee. So we are going to do a slow start. First, I have some couple of breathers, and today I thought maybe I'm going to say beginning what we are going to discuss, so you can see that the topics are of your interest. So, second, it's my first black moon with the awareness of the terminology black moon. So I know about the pink moon, the blood moon, and so on. Never with awareness pay attention to what I learned is called the black moon. So we are going to discuss about that and other experience that I did have during a black moon when the moon was absent in the night. So I did experience that, but it did not have a name for me. So sort of thing. So, and now it went to August of 2025. So we are going to talk a little bit about the black moon. We are going to talk about clarity, courage, and confidence. And we are going to talk about reading people. And this is not paying attention to. This has a lot to do with. So on reading people, it's like when you know that there is something wrong and you take the responsibility and you act on it. Like the way that I got educated and older than educated. The teacher, children, do you see this behavior, children? You need to adjust this behavior because this behavior is not correct. And you can see it on this. How do you know that something like that is coming? It's signs. So that's also what we are going to discuss. So yeah, it's going to be another mind traveler, mind, and might blow your mind and damage your defense on the search for the true chosen ones or its followers. So a true chosen one, for example, was the Messiah Jesus, Buddha. So let us first start with some breathing because it's going to be, yeah, if you do not want to become aware or, with the information I share, 100% it's confrontational. Because you only feel an awareness by confrontation of your own mind and things that spark your mind. So there is some mind friction. Yeah, so there are the mind frictions that intentionally trying to convince you about a lie, about fraud, which so you get in your life an information stream of fake news. And it does not mean the news channel saying it. No, I see fake news as all bullshit stories. Yes. So and they are really trying to convince you. You need to believe, and the pressure of the fake news stream in your life, because I cancel them, but you can block the fake news stream in your life and say, I will not let fake news enter my house. So you need to recognize it also before you can do that. And one sign is they want to convince you about whatever. So I am not here to convince you. I am here first to find myself. Yes? And you should be here to first find yourself. Not just yourself, but your true self. Because that is a sign where you are going to find the truth. To become your true self. So, answer that question in your mind. Become your true self and stay tuned for the answer. But first, we are going to do, and then the rest will follow. So take a couple of breathers now. Thank you very much. So let me tone this down. So first of all, a special thanks to Shamanic Drum with Tri Pache, Peace Healing, Spiritual Elevation, no copyright. So if you like this, oh, you see, we are going to like it. And I'm going to subscribe because they, no copyright spiritual sound. So I'm also going to share this. Yes. So copy. Because I think, this is what we need to do. 4 years ago, they put this on there. So thank you very, very much for doing so. So that's why we are going to promote that. Also, we are going to put it in the comment section. So if you want to see it or listen to this healing music, then now in the screen you see HTTPS YouTube, and you can type it or you can click in the live on the link and you will get there. But if the live is finished, you need to type it because probably the comment will not be available. So the black moon is what we were starting with. And now I have a little problem because if we share it, it's not coming back. So we need to do this. So we were starting off with black moon. Everybody has something, water to drink, cup of coffee. I might need to make a cup of coffee during the live stream because I'm ill prepared. So what is a black moon? So first I didn't know what a black moon or the terminology. So this is the first time I'm going into the terminology, which is pretty new to me, but I'm also not sure if it's pretty new to people from Shaolin. So that's something I do not know. So the black moon that we are talking about is a season attached black moon. When you have four new moons and the third one, the third new moon is seen as black. So this is what I think that makes things not so clear about what's official and what's not official. So I can understand that people can read a text like a black moon is not an official astronomical term, but it's been used on different ways. Mostly it is pointing at the second new moon in the calendar month of the third new moon in a season with four new moons. There is also a definition that is pointing to a month in which there is no new moon. It's mostly February, which is basically also nonsense, in my opinion. Right now, at the top of my head, as I said, I have no understanding of it. It's the first time, but I say it's nonsense to say in February. You know why? Why is there no new moon in February? Maybe because you are not counting all the days. Yes? So you can count 28 days or 29 days instead of 31. So if February had 30 days, there would be a new moon. So it's altered by the calendar. And if I'm wrong on this, I'm glad because this is just what's coming out of the top of my head, knowing nothing. This is what I have to say, and I might be mistaken. I don't know. So what I do know is that sometimes the moon is here during the day instead of the night. So because I observe the moon during the day, it is actually debunking all the flat Earth models. So in the modern astrology, the black moon is also used to point at Lilith, a figure that is standing for the untamable spirit. Um, well, you can call something modern astrology, but Lilith is not an astrology body. So I consider all of that as bullshit, and I will not talk about Lilith and the modern astrology mumbo jumbo. So that is what I just out of the top of my head do. You know, I'm investigating, researching something I have no experience with, but I'm discerning immediately what is nonsense, what is not nonsense. Yes. So what is not nonsense is when there is no moon at night. That is something you cannot observe. Is that what we are talking about? I have no idea. Or is the sun behind the Earth and the moon is shown black, so you cannot see it? Really? Yeah, you can see it maybe as a shade, so not, yeah, I think you know what I mean. So we know that we are talking about the passing of the moon on 22 and 23 of August in 2025, which is a seasonally attached black moon. It's a third new moon. So the black moon that is coming, it stays it right there, eh? 22, 23 August is a season attached black moon. This is the third new moon in a season with four new moons. So maybe it has nothing to do with if the moon is shining or not. Like the blood moon is not bleeding. It's not like, oh yeah, can you see the moon is bleeding? It's a blood moon. No, it's not like that. So, so what we are going to do. So I was thinking about how naturally things were forming. So now it's 9 o'clock in the morning. So I prepare myself for 9 o'clock in the morning, and I also prepare myself for 9 o'clock at the evening. And I thought that yeah, maybe 9 o'clock is going to be a little bit the expected time that I'm going to do the live stream. So either 9 o'clock in the morning or 9 o'clock in the evening during the week. So, and at the moment, the pace is two times a day, and I will see if I can follow that because sometimes in the morning you are going to be a little bit late. So I'm going to um, increase my spiritual practice. So from now on, you know, it's the intention to wake up with awareness, to do the spiritual practice, and maintain that the day until you go to sleep, you wake up again, and then maintain that for the week, maintain that for the month, maintain that for the season, maintain that for the year, and if you know, to maintain that for the rest of your life. So now we are knowing that the black moon is a new moon, and that means that the moon is located, indeed, what I just said, between the earth and the sun. So I was right for something I didn't know. I was questioning myself, but now I find the answer here that it means that the moon is in between the earth and the sun. And because of that, it is less visible in the night sky, or it might be not visible in the night sky with the naked eye. I'm not sure, so that is what I'm looking for tonight. If I can see shady moon, or I would not see a moon at all. I know that if you have a telescope, you might see it. Yes, um, that is what I assume. When the moon is in between the sun and the earth, yeah, then you can look against the moon. It must be possible. But yeah, if the moon is black and the night sky is black, then it might be really difficult to see the fish. So we will see if we can see a little bit of the moon, or that people with telescopes can see the moon. That would be really interesting. So definitely I'm going to watch some people that are live streaming with telescopes. And I suggest that you would to go into a deeper understanding of that. So there's also a Shaolin lecture about the black moon that I have studied this morning previous to this one, and his name is Shi Heng Yi. Um, so yeah, I'm not sure if Shaolin is the way, um, but it's definitely our way. So he was talking about the black moon, where um, in contrast of trust and trusting yourself, and that the darkness is guiding the truth, and some like these contradicting metaphors, um, which I can understand. And when he was speaking them, I I was on my own in that knowing that uh, the duality we would like to see as a human being does not mean that the universe is expressing that. Yes. So first of all, divine light is invisible to your two physical eyes, but divine light can be visible to certain people like me. But then you need to look with the third eye. So sometimes I had the experience that I saw light emitting from my hand, and it was white. It had that shiny white glow, so you could say maybe aura. That was what I was trying to figure out. Anyways, it's not normal that I see that. So when you observe the night sky, you see two things. You see black and you see white. And you see the shades in between. So even if it appears that darkness is the most present in the night, there are stars and suns spreading the light. So then you would say, is this duopanopty? Is this two colors in one pot, black and white? That is what you see when you observe the night. And I know this all is rhyming, so the night makes it poetic. So now, with the absence of moonlight, it's a moment of pause to pause yourself. So they say, do not take steps outside. Take this moment to pause yourself. So continuously you have this moon, that moon, half moon, full moon, no moon, black moon. So within the cycle there is a pause, and the Shaolin explained that to learn how to pause yourself. So the darkness is helping you to find the truth. It's helping you in that moment of awe to find all the signalings of life. So if you want to know more about the Shaolin teaching of the Black Moon, you, I recommend for now you are going to listen to Shi and Yi. So I'm going to put this name on the comment section. So Shi Heng Yi, he started the Shaolin Temple in Germany. Shi Heng Yi. And maybe I am too early to put his name here, but I did. So Shi Heng Yi has a Black Moon video for today. So you can type in YouTube Shi Heng Yi Black Moon 22 August and you will have this information the way Shaolin views the Black Moon. And I must say, it was already my understanding without even knowing the topic. So when I heard him talking about it and filling him in, I had automatically agreeing to it because we observe, we should see two things: darkness as it is and light as it is. And I'm not sure if my conviction of light is true, but I believe that when we are talking about evil, we need to understand um, what is the difference between evil and darkness. Yes, so that is something. Yeah, you need to practice a lot of philosophy, spiritual research to ask such questions, and then to grow in that. Because yeah, asking a question is one, finding the answer is another one, and you know when it are these type of questions, they are not really easy to answer. That's because you can answer the question within duality and you can answer the question outside of duality. So both answers will be true, but only the one outside duality will proceed into the future. So that is where we are coming to our other topic to talk about. And this is also partially inspired by Shi Hengyi, who was talking about the word clarity, confidence, and another word. Clarity, confidence, and courage. So first of all, in this broadcast, you need to take the courage, yes, and you need to be confident in what you are listening to is the truth. Yes, you need to have the courage to face the truth. You need to have the confidence to listen to the truth because you actually only getting reminded by me. That is also like Shi Heng Yi reminded me certain things. That's why I call his name. That, but I'm always a little bit like sometimes, the devil is appearing in your eyes as the most beautiful and good thing. So that is what I did not yet find. So with certain teachings of Shaolin, I do not agree because they also made a mistake. So the ancient Shaolin, before they started to use farming tools as weapons, I see that as sacred. But to weaponize religion, I do not see as sacred. It's also not the word, the work of the Creator, I believe. So, and this has to do with the thought process of believing and thinking that you need to defend yourself. So, at the moment that they choose what they choose. But overall, I think that the physical and spiritual practice of Shaolin uh, are good for the modern human to get mental resistance, physical health, spiritual health, mental health. So I think it is truly contributing to that if you are following that way of Shaolin. So now I'm going to put confidence, courage, and now I lost the other C word, clarity, into the aspect of reading people. So this is really funny. The thought process of all philosophy. So this world was covered with many philosophers. There are not many new philosophers in the Western world. If you want to know which country produces 150 followers every year, well, I'm not sure if the number and the time span is correct at the moment, but it was Japan. Japan has many philosophers and probably still proceeding with many philosophers, new philosophers. So the first thing that you need in life, so that's why you can do the morning routine of waking up that I was talking about before, because that creates peace and peace of mind. And with peace and peace of mind, you start to control your own mind. And from that moment on, you create the space for clarity. Because in the morning, you are removed, first, you are producing thoughts of gratitude for the good night's sleep you are, for waking up in joy, for the opportunity to ground yourself and connect with the center of Mother Earth by imagining roots growing from your feet to the center of Mother Earth. Be grateful for the divine light that you can spread, or you learn from somebody that is able to spread divine light. So either you are the practitioner in leading, or you are the practitioner in following these words. So the words spoken in guidance are meant to apply. So you create this clarity by experiencing your morning in awareness. So this clarity is important for reading other people. So what I like to do or what I practice is that I make a clean sheet. I make a clean sheet in the morning, and sometimes you get distracted from it. So now I say I make a clean sheet. Over 1 year, I am going to tell you that not every day I was starting with a clean sheet, because the clean sheet got polluted little by little, so slowly. The corruption is trying to do that, so it starts to be really difficult to notice. And sometimes you go into connections in which they slowly by slowly try to adjust your own way. So I like to start, and I hope that meeting people is something more people are going to practice, and then make better choices. Because if you don't see it, you cannot act to it. If you don't hear it, you cannot act to it. And that is where the phrases came that people were blind, dumb, and deaf. They were not truly blind, yes. It were not the blind people that Jesus Christ let see. Their physical eyes were good. But what if you misunderstood that teaching and Jesus did a miracle and he let the blind see? Yeah, he let the spiritual blind see the world of the divine. He let the spiritually deaf listen to the voice of the Creator. And he let the cripple walk by healing. And how did he do that? With courage, he was encouraging them. With clarity, he was talking to them. And with confidence, he never left the side of the Creator. And that are my intentions. So my intentions of life are clear. So that means that if you are searching for darkness and evil, you need to go somewhere else. But often it is like the people that do not agree hanging around you, trying to find their truth, which is based on a lie, and apply that to you. You should not start a feed with allowing this to happen. So you need to find out, hello, I'm starting with a clean feed. This is my mind. I have clarity now. So I'm not going to let others pollute it. So you are going to slow things down and take a step back. Yes, because if you need to go to a workplace, you have colleagues you didn't choose. Those colleagues are chosen by your boss, not by you. So you can slow things down and you can say, well, okay, I start with a clean sheet, I have clarity, I do not have the attention to talk to people because I need to point out that, hello, Binoy Vlog Creation, thank you so much. I now see the comment. Binoy, what does that mean? So I see something like person turquoise waving. So I think it's a emoji. So let me get back to that clarity. And thank you so much for your response. Um, this is my own, uh, well, kind of soul research. So every word that I say are the first teachings of myself. So I'm probably not your teacher or anybody else's teacher simply by the fact that I didn't choose to become a teacher. And I could say like maybe I need to learn much more before I have that. So you cannot teach if nobody is willingly to be the student. Or it's not time for that person to learn. But you can be confident in the things that you know. So here we go from believing to knowing. So I have no intention to believe things. I have intention to know things. So I rather not talk about the things that I believe because they are adjustable and especially adjustable by people that do not have good intentions for you. So with reading people, you need to understand that not everybody that you meet in life has positive intentions with you. So there is also a link of this beautiful music in the beginning of the live stream. I also promote them because they do this royalty free. So yes, that is. So reading people, you need your clarity. So you meet your colleagues, and if you are kind, so I'm talking about the concept of kindness, not about love. So if you want to be kind and you have your morning routine that when you arrive at work and when you see your colleagues, you say good morning, okay, good morning back. So if you say that is how I limit the words that I speak in the morning, that I say like, okay, I'm going to say good morning to them, that's it. And then what is my task actually of arriving at my job? Well, the only thing I need to do is to wait for the leading hand to come to me. If it's not the CEO, the boss, it will be one of his other slaves with different titles like supervisor. And if that's not the right slave that is enslaving you further into the system, then it will be the team leader to enslave you in the next following task. So the team leader is saying, good morning back. Hello, Frankie. You are now on phase one, uh, partial three, and you need to fill the lot seven in building H. Of course, this is completely clear for everybody. Well, I made it all up, building H, but I know that in logistics things work that way. Yeah? When you need to do receive your job, okay, I know now what to do. So I need to take care of the job because I said, if you give me so much money, I'm going to be your slave in your building, and I'm going to do this, this, and this for you, wasting 40 hours a week at least to make you rich. Yes? So you better have some value that I am making you rich. So if we know that, then I can rest my mind with only that. And the colleague actually needs to do the same thing. But this is not how it works on work. And maybe in Japan and in China, where everybody is silent or something. I don't know, but I don't think it works there also. So then, what are you going to expect? Well, by experience, I can tell you it does not stop with good on. So when I go back to that time, often it starts with complaining or questioning. And then I think, well, I'm not paid to answer questions of a colleague, but we are starting with a key there. We are not like into a familiar role like we are married together, colleague. No, it's not that type of relationship. It's me starting with a clean sheet. I'm going to a job and I need to understand and I need to be confident and take the courage of what I'm going to do at my job. Well, that is my job. That was the agreement. There was no agreement that I need to educate colleagues unless it's part of the job and I need to teach somebody how to use the foil machine. So there is no personal stuff normally. You have a clean sheet with a colleague because the colleague needs to do the job, not to question your personal life. So it's not only complaining or questioning, but also gossip. Yes. So I'm very allergic to that. So when you read people, you need to understand the questions that they ask. Then you need to ask within yourself, why would they like to know something about my personal life, already knowing because I'm prepared they are going to say somebody else, but who is that somebody else? And I did a lot of tests with it, like because I started with a clean sheet and I decided to give a partial information to that person and a partial information to that person and just wait 1 week and see if those partial information is coming together and somebody is coming to you to explain to you what you already know. Hey, this and that, when they together, I understand this, when that person comes to you, well, then you know automatically how the information was spreading through the crowd around you. So you didn't choose your colleagues, you're reading people, and you notice that complaining, gossip, and questioning is are the three things that you are going to face. That has nothing to do with your job. So now you need to understand that you maintain your clean sheet. You do not want it to get polluted because other people have set bad intentions. So you need to learn to read, and therefore, if you cannot read it, you need to question it. And if you cannot question it, you need to test it. Yes, you can test people on their intention. So, for example, I believe it was Machiavelli or Yang Yi or other philosopher, and maybe all three were talking about observing friends. So reading people in consideration how they treat your friend. And then the wise guy said, when somebody is treating your friends with disrespect, then they are not your friend. So one rule of reading people is observing how they treat their friends. So for example, you have that colleague and some colleagues are your friends because the boss was your friend and the company started based on friends starting to work together. And then a new employee walking inside the building and thinking that you are all his friend, but you didn't build a relationship. So you learn that wisdom, well, I'm going to read people with clarity, so you need to have a clean sheet and clearness of my mind. And then I was observing him, and the person was like jokingly putting a finger in the ass of my friend. Ha 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 ha. Or standing behind another friend and, acting like they are having intercourse as gay people. Well, the Joker wants you to laugh with it, but the intentions are disrespectful. So if you have a clean sheet and you observe that with your full awareness and clarity, then you need to decide, is this disrespect? Is this disrespectful, condescending behavior? That is what you need to write on a borrowed clean sheet. And the borrowed clean sheet is an empty piece of paper where you are going to write down, is this type of behavior what I see disrespectful and condescending to my friend? Well, the answer is yes. You actually know it, but now you are going to use your awareness and your clarity to observe it for what it is. Yes? So I found out that's not my friend. That's the conclusion. Yes? But you need to have the clarity. You need to have the courage to observe. And you need to be confident with the answer, or else you are getting derived. You get derived from what? Your clean sheet. And if your clean sheet is your true self, you are getting in somebody's other's storm. So respect you can put on another clean sheet, which is another piece of paper. So on the end of the day of reading people, you have on your left side your founding, and on the right side your true self. You fill in on the right side the word respect. And on the left side, you are already seeing, well, I saw this behavior to my friend, question is it condescending and disrespectful to my uh, friend? The answer is yes, because I have on my right side put down the word respect. Is that my friend who does not respect my friend? No. So on the piece of paper where it says respect, there is no name added of that colleague, that person. You will not be on that paper. So you are going to continue with the paper on the right. Yes? So the left is for observation. The right one is after you made your choice. And it was respect. You treat each other with respect to gain respect. Yeah? And if you are too immature, so that is the further part. So yeah, this one is again going to be a little bit more longer because in depth things cost time, more time than the 1 hour I planned. So because I feel the need of my sincere inner peace just to express myself to get it out, to get some better understanding for myself where I am right or where I am wrong. So I'm going to continue, observe people, read people, and this has all to do with behavior. How do you behave? So if behavior does not know the norm and it is showing a low level of behavior, then my choice is still that I made on the right side. Yes, because I'm right, not wrong. So on the right side on the paper is still standing respect. So reading people has to do with observing behavior. When somebody asks you a question, don't give an immediate answer when you have a clean sheet, because your answer might pollute your clean sheet. So observe me. If nowadays I go to a work floor, yes, and somebody asks me a question after the gossip and the complaining of work, so first you observe gossip, then complaining, and then they ask you the question, what do you think about it? And then you say, I don't answer questions. Then I say, I do not listen to you because I observed enough complaining and uh, gossip that I'm truly allergic to. But I did not, I have not been born to kill anybody. But in a game, you do not really want to put that either on your feet. But then it's get a little bit bloody, doesn't it? So you learn to read people with awareness, but the distraction, yes, you became a slave to distraction because don't wake up with a clean sheet, it goes probably like this. Oh, God damn, you need to wake up. Oh my God, I need to go to my work. Ah, I don't want to. Now I need to do this and that again. Oh, it's such a spiritual killing job. And I'm working with idiots. Or something like that. And you start complaining and you arrive on your job and the first thing you gossip is that is hello to Arian or so on. I know we need to start my job. On your way to your job, you are like, get out of my way, I'm almost late. I'm hurry. And what is distracting you? Well, I'm going to put the heavy metal really loud. I'm going to work. And then I'm doing my mind killing work. And then there, last buzzer, I go home. Metal music. I'm home. I'm in a hurry. I'm stressed. I need a shower. I need to eat. It all costs time. So, in between these two moments, you did not have a clean sheet. And what are you going to do when you go home? As slave of distraction, you are going to distract yourself, frankly. Yes, that's what you are going to do. You know what you are going to do first? You are going to convince yourself that you are tired. You are going to convince yourself that you are stressed. You are going to convince yourself that the only solution is alcohol and porn and Netflix and stupid conversation. That is The mindfulness that you convince yourself from, Frankie, and then it's easy to convince me because I'm stressed, I'm tired, I need to escape, I need to distract myself from the reality that the essence of my own soul is not coming to fruition. It's completely consumed by the system. And you eat that shit every day, unless, and that is what I believe is the awakening, you start to resist the nonsense. You say to yourself, no, everybody is filling in my clean sheet and it's now completely black. Is that what you wanted? Because you didn't read people. You see that person treating your friends with disrespect, and you just allow it to happen and you continue with God. And if everybody that is doing, then the standard is disrespect. Yeah, we beat each other up on the street. What do you think? I'm not only stressed, I'm not only in a hurry, I'm also angry now. Yes? What do you do when you are angry? You convince yourself that it's okay to hurt other people, to punch them, to kick them, if you have a knife, to stab them, if you have a gun, you shoot them. You know, it seems that your clean sheet is so polluted that it becomes like an organization that is also having a black sheet. They are called ICE. ICE is I don't know what it is. It's a legal organization in the USA which is used by white supremacist Trump. Misogynist he is also. So when I have a clean sheet and I observe Trump, who is raping children and stuff, and probably killing them, and probably putting the autographs for a lot of evil. So, no, he's not a savior, and he wants the Nobel Prize of Peace. Well, Trump, I'm going to tell you this much. Just simply, Trump, because you are going to Israel and uh, going to Alaska and saying to Zelensky and Putin and to the media that you want to save lives. No, you did go to Alaska to build your image and you made, I read you right, Trump. It's a story of make believe that you want to save lives. You never ever in your life saved a life. Well, Trump, I saved many, yes, and I'm going to save many lives from you, yes, Trump. So, Trump, if you want to learn about enlightenment, you are not allowed in my class, so you need to find it somewhere else because to people like you, I have no attention. So, this is all the attention you get. So, I don't mind if the other idiot is understanding me because my standard on my clean sheet is listening to understand. So first I have respect and now I have listening to understand instead of to reply ah, on my right side. And on the left side is all the bullshit that Trump talks about. I mean the media. It's not on my right side, it's on my left side. And going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to start a fire with my left side of paper. And I put on my left side of paper what I truly hate. All my darkness I will reveal on my left. And you know what I'm going to do with it. Listen, that's what I'm going to do with it. Ignite it with a lighter and I set it in fire. And then what happens? The white sheet of paper that got polluted with the things that I write on, I ignite it, and the whole page is turning black. And do you believe that you can read what I have written in darkness? You cannot read it anymore. So there is only one thing left that I have shared to the world, and that's my right side of paper when I read people. And it says respect. Do they respect each other? Nope, not my friends. Colleagues, just colleagues. You have a question for me? Uh, I thought that questions were asked to the team leader. Yes? Oh, you might ask the team leader. I'm just a colleague. Go ask that question to the team leader. Maybe he finds your answer. You need to be really, and then you go to see if they really wanted to get that answer from you to set you up for some evil stuff that was on the left side. So know your obligations, and you are not obligated anything to anyone when you live in freedom, when you live in the core of your own self. So you are reading people, you set fire and destroy actually the whole darkness on the left side. That's actually what you did. And that is how you filter your own guidelines. But sometimes it is like you are staring to the left piece of paper and you think, well, maybe it is right to have a genocide there or have a genocide over there. And maybe that's, and then you're going to discern, eh? So reading people has to make with what do you discern your life with? What do you want to become? So if you say, I want to become a peaceful person, then the word genocide is not on the right side piece of paper, but on the left one. So I put genocide on the left one because I already know that I had made the choice that when that left side is full, and I'm going to tell you the left side is much quicker full than the right side because on the right side you already knew we only have respect and what was the second one? I need to go back, review what I said. What was the second one? Because I forgot. It might come to my mind, but you have respect on the right side. So you are going to put your standards on the right side. Those standards becoming the borders of your inner peace. You use these standards and you are no answers. You do not need to give any answers. You are not obligated to give any answers to anyone. So, one other thing in reading people is, well, what's your answer? So, people are sometimes asking things they already know. So, they ask me this challenging question. And then I would not like to be considered rude, so I'm not saying, oh, you can ask that to the team leader because it's a personal question. So you are going to ask, what was the answer that you have found? Did you answer that question yourself? And by all the responses in between, you can read the person in front of you because they not expect long-term questioning. Yes. So that fire goes really quickly of lies. Yes. And when it faces you with a question, well, what did you think about what you want to know from me? What is how far did you come? So maybe I can give you an addition, or maybe I choose when I observe my clean sheet that I will not answer you at all. And how come you would do that? Thank you. Well, somebody said to me, you can't fix super. Somebody said to me, well, is there a need? People need to understand that to all questions, if you make them personal or not, but if a question is about something that is emotion or sets something in motion, you need to ask, what is this story going to bring me with all the gossip and complaining attached? Where does it lead me? It does not lead you to your right sheet, to your standards, but it's actually distracting you from it. And that is the first thing that you need to learn to read. Is it going to be part of a distraction as your question? You answer that question before you answer the person that is asking you a question about your personal life or an opinion about another colleague or the boss is an asshole. eh? So enrich yourself by reading people, slow things down. So when they ask you a question, you have more options than answering the question. You have an option to point the question to somebody else and say, well, I'm here to put these jeans in that box and send it to a fashion store. I'm not here to answer questions about, and we are going to do this without music. So, questions. Now I got distracted already. So, yeah, you can point out you are going to ask it that person, yes, because they have a leading hand in it. Yes, I will not lead my right seat by gossip or complaining, nor by problems, because on my right seat it will get quickly full of solutions. So maybe I do not have many standards, but one standard applies to many things on the left side of the sheet. Do you know respect? Well, for example, I observed Trump in the media and he was saying, grab them at the pussy to 15-year-old children in the context of 15-year-old children when he was in the locker room with 15-year-old cheerleaders. And then he came up with the wise words, grab them at the pussy. Well, if you read people, then you know this is evil. Thank you very much. But people are not reading people, in my opinion. So, this is something that we are going to research some more. Reading people, having standards, applying standards, and discern on your left piece of paper and your right piece of paper. Yes. And then you burn the left one, and then what is left, that is your that is the guidelines of your life. So for example, yeah, but Frankie, you learned in the Roman Catholic Church, Frankie, thou shall not kill. That's true. That's true. I've learned that in the Roman Catholic Church, and I believe they said it was in the Bible they never supplied. So, thou shalt not kill is on my right piece of paper. And to me, it does not make any sense if the Roman Catholic person is saying that to me, thou shalt not kill, or a Muslim person is saying that to me, thou shalt not kill, because we are a religion of peace. Salam, salam. And then they say the magical words, Salam alaikum. And I'm going to add more magical words. Peace be upon Frankie. Peace be with Frankie. Yeah, sounds cool. But it did not meant to be sounding cool. But I will put it on my right side of paper because my heart says yes. Peace is with me. Peace will be upon me. I am actually peaceful. Yeah, you say salam alaikum to me, which means something. May your, well, damn, peace will be. Hey, did you saw my YouTube? I wear a, I wear a Second World War II cap from Germany made by Ramstein. They also have the Ramstein logo on it. It's camouflage, and I put a peace banner around it, a bandana with peace on it. And I truly walked with it in normal life outside, and oh, you see the people look. You first the people got the news. Uh, this geographical location got completely bombed, and hundreds of thousand people died. And then I'm making a statement of peace. And then those longing eyes that actually these people also want peace, but not expressing it and only being spectators and public to the atrocities. But you need to stand up. You need to have that courage to do something. So we are going to continue at 9 o'clock, probably this evening. We are almost 1.5 hours on its way for now, and I see that when I am asking myself in between these things and doing the research for myself and listening to myself, that I need to talk a little bit more about it to find out what I can conclude of reading people and if they are my friends or which standards I'm going to apply to keep my clean sheet clean or filled with all the good stuff. And that is the discernment. So I go, for example, to the supermarket. I had really hateful experience over there at the supermarket. I go to other places. Yes, so you do not always know who you are going to receive in your day. So to be distant and first let people know that you have standards is maybe a good idea to introduce yourself. But then otherwise, guy is saying, yeah, it's not a good idea to introduce yourself when you standards because I have no clue. Yes? So probably these teachings are in motion, and sometimes it will be a good idea to introduce your standards, and sometimes it's not a good idea to introduce your standards. It depends on who is asking or who is introducing. So when I observe a person and he is showing respect, and the person is kind, and the person is on his own religious track peacefully, and it's really, really, really good, then you can introduce your standards and you can agree, for example, and say, hey, what you do here, I agree with that. That is what I do also. So you find common sense, you find agreement, and you find consensus. So you are definitely searching for the people that you can find consensus with. So yeah. Oh, it was 129.29. And I must say, every day now, I see double numbers everywhere. When I check the phone, it's not just 3 o'clock, because here we have 24-hour clocks. We do not have AM, PM. So 3 o'clock was 1500. And it was not just three, no, it was 1515 minutes, and that at the moment, like recently, I made a major change for myself, a major decision after reading people, after knowing what's going on. I made a decision. And after that decision, with a lot of letting go, I'm receiving now. And just what was it? It was 9 o'clock, nine, I believe. And then it was 10 o'clock, something else. So that was the first one that did not have two matching things. But yeah, a lot of people think then these are angel numbers or special numbers. But I am only saying I noticed after that decision, when I observed the time, many times, and I had this many times after each other, and that is why it became into my consciousness and into my awareness that I got aware of it. Like, hey, it's 1313. Next time I watch, hey, it's 1515. And when I was going to sleep at night, it also was something like that, for example. Or so then I noticed, like, huh? But I did not do research what was the meaning. Maybe I'm going to talk about that in the next live stream. So I have a difficulty with timing live streams. So at the moment, I feel that 9 o'clock is like a good time for me. So yeah, check this channel out at 9 o'clock in the evening Dutch time and 9 o'clock in the morning German time. And the next day, it will be 9 o'clock in the morning, Belgium time, and 9 o'clock in the evening, France time. So if you are from the USA, from Canada, or even from Asia, it might be that it could be your morning, or it could be your night, or it could be during the day. That does not really matter because if I do not delete it, then you can still watch it. So yeah, some live streams I did delete because I'm listening to myself and then I think, what am I talking about now? Is this, because things are in motion, words are in motion. And when you become aware of what you are talking about and you are searching, does not always mean that you agree. So when you were searching and too much of the left side is popping up, then I thought, well, no, now I'm turning into the left side. I'm going to the right again. Delete this shit and, set it into fire and start over again. So learn how to read people, be confident, be courage, be courageous, confident, courageous, and get some clarity of mind. Because if you have clarity of mind, you can listen to understand, and I will feel understood, and you would feel understood, which should actually be the purpose of what. So I'm going to wave you goodbye with this one. And yes, it is like when people start to resonate with you, it's really nice. So I'm going to check that one out also. Maybe they have something to say in their vlogs. So we will see. Bye for now.